I'm Jim Umhoefer, a local resident, professional writer, photographer, but I've had the privilege over the past year to work on this book called The Old Course on Main Street, A Century of Life and Golf on the Minnesota Prairie. Steve Click, the owner of the old course, recognized that this course turns 100 years old in this summer, 2021. So this book tells a story, but it's not just about golf. This book goes decade by decade, starting in the 20s through up to 1921, telling the story of the course, but the bigger picture, nobody golfed in a vacuum. They golfed depending on the fortunes of the course, and the fortunes of the town reflected what was going on in the world, around Minnesota, the country, and the world. The Great Depression, tough economic times. The country club board decided not to raise their membership fees for several years because they knew people couldn't afford it. They let farmers golf for free. They encouraged kids to golf. This course has always been affordable. The families that would move around here, when the board bought this 120 acres, there was more land than what they needed for the golf course. But they would wisely sell off all these lots around the lake and this country club addition over here to help pay for improvements for the course. The Ladies Auxiliary, several of the board members said if it wasn't for the Ladies Auxiliary, this course would not have survived. They raised money and donated it or gave it to the country club board for tractors and for furnishings, carpet, windows. And their formula was food and fun. They would host dances, they would host golf tournaments and bridge parties. If you didn't want to golf, you could play bridge. So this is truly a community thing, and as a small town boy myself from central Wisconsin, I'm proud of Sox Center when I look at what they did over the course of a century here. And they didn't always agree with each other. You had the Democratic bank, you had the Republican bank. You had differences of opinions about what to do. But when they got here, it was about golf. It was not about politics. That really impressed me. It impressed me that people would volunteer to help out here whether they golfed or not. When they built the course, most of the people weren't golfers. When they built this clubhouse, people volunteered their time whether they golfed or not. When they put in the watering system here, people would volunteer. With the cleanup after storms, this has truly been a community course. When you look at the population of Sox Center in 1921, maybe about 2,500 people. A century later, it's about 4,500. You're talking about 2,000 person difference. But yet this course meant so much to the town and the people that golfed here across the generations. It was a family tradition. Golf is one of those sports, like Tom and Lehman says in his foreword, it's a family event. And the families around here, multi-generations, 4 generations of golfers, some of them, they grew up here on the course. The older golfers would take the younger golfers under their wing, encourage them to play together. So you had high school kids golfing with the grandparents of their friends. I mean, it was just a social event, and some people call it a rich person sport. I didn't really see that. I mean, you've got your doctors and your lawyers and your bankers that were part of the course here, but the membership dues are so affordable that farmers and policemen and teachers could comfortably buy family memberships here. There was an example of a local policeman that would buy a membership every year and give it as a gift for his son. And it was that affordable. To me, the affordability and the accessibility and the attitude of we can keep this place going. World War II, wasn't anybody around here to golf. All the young people were fighting in the war or working in defense factories. Dave Cochran, one of the gentlemen that was a catalyst for the course, said it was hard to golf in the 40s. Nobody was around to golf with. Plus, it was hard to get golf balls, and the ones you did get, you couldn't hit very far because all the rubber was for the war effort. So the little tidbits like that come out in the book here. The book's a community book. Roger Reinhardt, a local artist, painted this beautiful painting on the cover. Logan Thomas, another local artist, painted the image called a hole in one right here on the course. I interviewed over 60 local people from around the country that grew up here on the course and golfed on the golf teams that talked about how much this course meant. People would give me names and would come back in touch with me and give me more information. It showed me how important this was to the town. And like I say, as a small town guy, and especially in this day of polarization, to me the lesson is you can have a difference of opinion and still respect each other and find common ground. And that's the lesson of the old course on Main Street. That was common ground.